little bit of slack, please. Okay. Back. Okay, bring it in. Perfect.
This little anchorage behind the islands here, Spoil Islands, worked out pretty good for us last night. These are just above Sebastian Inlet. Here comes a sea dory. We love our sea dory. We have a 22 sea dory as well. Sea dory is a great traveling boat and you can do things quickly. Now at red flashing 38, you're going to come to Grant Farm Island, which is one of the few occupied islands in the intercoastal. Down here at Sebastian Inlet and further south, there's a marina, it seems like virtually every 100 feet to go to. So you have no problem with services beyond this point at all. Well, that's kind of taking it all with you. Now we're approaching the Sebastian Inlet here. Certainly a world of difference since I was over here 30 years ago or so. It's all marked, and practically anybody could take a boat up through here now. But on your shore, your south shore here at Sebastian, you've got public facilities, and then the inlet itself is right there. And we're not going to go out it. It's you can see those rollers coming in. Once you're committed, if the tide's going out, you're going out. And same thing with the inbound tide. So about all you can do in a slow vessel like we've got is aim for the center and hope, because it's just going to take you right through. To the left of the inlet, you have little 4 reals have been found from a 1600s wreck, and to the right, a mile down, you got the side of the first ship of the Spanish fleet that went ashore here in 1715. 2,000 or so people lost their lives and millions in treasure scattered ashore. And that begins a mile. As you're looking at it to the right down the road, you would have the lead ship coming aground. Around these Atlantic inlets, this is something to watch out for, is these Portuguese man of war. They come drifting in here from deep water. And I had one on my back as a kid, and one thing you don't want to do is put alcohol on it, because it was like, when my father did that, it was like molten metal being sprayed on my back. Now after you come out of Sebastian Inlet, the Indian River is just going to tighten up until you're just going past Spoil Island and Natural Island, one right after another. And unfortunately, a lot of them are not deep enough to get in behind. But there are a few little cuts that you can, if you carefully look at your chart, you can navigate in behind if you get caught short of one of the anchorages. And we're at red 78 by the Vero Beach bridge here, and the chart says we got 3 feet of water going around to the east over here to this little public park. For people on depth of water and everything, they're not used to seeing a trawler. The Vero Bridge. And this is northbound. And that park's around the corner to the port. And we're coming down the waterway. This is looking north from 112. Skipper Bob's publication describes an anchorage that you come in, line up at 3:30 between 112 and this Spoil Island with Hole in the Wall Island over here. And we're gonna opt for that one for tonight. We're holding 3:30. And the anchorage is lined up. This is a nice one. We've hit 10 feet of water in here. But we're traveling, Connie and I are traveling with 4 or 5 different publications, and that's nice because what one anchorage, you know, what one doesn't list, another one will, Gives you a lot of choices.
Captain Matt has the engine going on the little dinghy, so he's taking the little Admiral over to the bank and let her do her business.
The Skipper Bob publications describe this as the 964.4 Pine Island anchorage behind, but in the middle of Pine Island and Hole in the Wall Island. Now there's a little beach over here at the tip, at the north tip, and it's a good little beach for dinghying over. We're departing. It's 8:30 in the morning. On the bend here, and for a moment both the north and the south bridges here at Vero Beach are visible. There's a little hole back in here that you can come in and get some wind protection if you need to anchor at the north bridge in Vero. Now that's it. Now we're going to head on south. Came in and stopped for a repair on the dinghy. That's that little channel we were in the 60 bridge. And here we have the city of Vero Beach. A few years ago, the city of Vero Beach issued a new edict that there would be no anchoring within the city limits or you get a ticket. And which forced the state of Florida to issue a law that anchoring was allowed anywhere along the waterway. Northern bridge here at Fort Pierce. Now we're looking for Harbor Town Marina. I believe it's that next red marker up ahead. And I don't know if that's a good marina, bad marina, or what kind of marina, but they had the good sense to put a clear aerial in the waterway guide here. Get in. This is another thing that's good to use, are these waterway guides. And we came in, when you got a fuel dock, this is kind of what I like to see. They've got a little rubber thing so you don't skin up your boat. Now I'm turning off the intercoastal at the Fort Pierce Southern Bridge to go out the inlet. Show you a couple of things from the water side. You can see the power of current coming out these inlets. And the Fort Pierce inlet is a relatively safe inlet as they go. Just kind of getting sucked right on out the inlet at our speed. But that's something you got to watch for. And sometimes it's a one-way trip. But you got parks on both sides, north and south. Now we're looking southbound from the inlet. Now in 1715, a mile down the shore, the Capitana of the fleet came ashore, and that was carrying the king's treasure. And a lot of gold has been found down there. Mel Fisher made his mark first there, and it was worked by a friend of mine as well, Bob Frogfoot Weller. And occasionally it's still giving up gold today. And we're going to hang a left, whatever you want to call it, head under the South Fort Pierce Bridge here and on south to Stewart, and then we'll start heading across the Okeechobee Waterway. And we're coming down south, and we're going to anchor in the Jensen Beach anchorage, Jensen Beach Bridge anchorage tonight.